So this is it. A dream that started more than a year and a half ago. The first season, 8 episodes, is finally coming to an end. But I'm excited because we're going to take a different approach to this YouTube channel over this next season that's going to take place. But today we're going to finish it off with my publicist, where it all began, in Dallas. I had to go sit with her, and Charity Begins at Home, which is Isabel's radio show, just to prep me to see how I would do with the media. And we just went through an interview, and just to hear the information, to watch it back and be able to articulate, really see if the vision, the dream was coming across appropriately, or nobody cares about appropriately, but so you could understand. I mean, there's some serious stuff in that first interview, but I'm excited. So enjoy. I'm just going to finish this off, let you start where this dream all began.
Rolling. Start anytime you're ready.
Good morning, everyone. This is Isabel with Charity Begins at Home, and boy, do I have a guest for you. I am so excited. My friend, and someone that you guys are going to remember for the rest of your lives. Her name is StacyK. And Stacy, welcome to the show.
Wow, what an introduction.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you.
Well, you deserve it. Wait till we get into it, audience. We're going to see everything and what Stacy is all about. Stacy, I want to start off by telling me who you are. Let's go back to the background of where you came from and how did you get to where you are now?
First off, I'm a parent of 2 children. I have a 12-year-old, a 21-year-old. I am a spiritual person. I have a tendency, I kind of have this aura that follows me around, and people open up and they share with me and they feel comfortable with me. It's a blessing. Mm-hmm. It's a great part of who I am. But I think just being born that way with that gift, that I became a hairdresser. And for 22 years, that's 22 or 23 years. Goodness, that shows my age.
And I want everyone to understand, she is how tall are you?
5'9".
5'9", blonde bombshell, Texas beauty. So, we don't always get to visualize who that person is on radio.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I've been doing hair. I've been working with people. I think hairdressers sometimes forget at the mall. But the truth is, we are counselors. We're best friends. Sometimes we know the truth that a client has never shared with anyone before in their lives. And so that's who I am. I'm a lot of things. A counselor, a friend, a confidant, a mother, but most importantly, who I am really is a hairdresser.
We can go back into talking about who you are, but why are you here today?
I'm here because after working with people, I have discovered something I believe in, that I am making a movement. It's starting here today, but it really, over the next few years, you're going to see it progress around the world. And it is something that I've discovered personally in working with people. I myself, as you know, at 9 years old, I was a victim of sexual abuse by a 17-year-old boy. I had one incident of exposure, and I have found out now, because we grew up in that era where we didn't talk about sex with our parents. We kind of were educated through classmates or through cousins or through neighborhood friends, that we had no one to talk to.
Oh, I know. My mother gave me a book.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Well, that's more than
my friends thought that was like the,
You probably
incredible.
you were probably educating them.
I was. They were asking me questions. We were looking in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think what happened was, because we weren't prepared, we didn't know what to expect sexually, that we became victims, and we grew into adults who carried with us a secret that suppressed. I call it sexual suppression.
Wait, stop. Sexual suppression.
Yeah.
What a great word, 2 words that sound like there's a lot of meaning behind those two words.
Here's, Isabel, what I think is the greatest giant that we face right now. Media controls sexual abuse. And because they project to society, and they have since I'm 41 years old, and they have since I can remember being a child and hearing about that one court case. You know, it's kind of like the car wreck that they report, or the bad news that you get, or the drama is what we have a tendency to focus on the most and remember. And so because of that, sexual abuse basically got labeled pedophile, molester, registered sex offender. And so if you went through an incident like me, 9 years old, with a 17-year-old boy, of sexual exposure,
Right.
I didn't feel as though I had a place I belonged.
Okay.
And so I didn't have a voice. Who was I going to tell? I wasn't 6 years old with this 60-year-old man, or it wasn't this multiple times that started when I was 2 years old, and I really needed an organization like CPS or COS as someone to represent me or be a voice for me. I literally, what was being fed to me visually through the media, I wasn't about to tell anyone and create hate in my home and destruction and have a court case.
So how did you deal with it? Did you deal
I
with it?
suppressed it.
You suppressed it.
I hid it.
Mhm.
I thought if we don't talk about this, it all goes away.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
It didn't go away.
And for most people that you work with, it does not go away.
No.
Okay.
So I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm a whole lot further today than I was yesterday. I'm happy with who I am. I can look in the mirror and truly love myself rather than wake up each morning and hate myself. And how did I make the change? Everybody asks me if it's harder to be a survivor or it's harder to be a victim. And the truth is, the hardest part is to become a survivor.
Okay.
Victim's easy.
Yeah.
Victim, I get to live for years, and I get to blame somebody else, and I get to talk about the past, and I can create any story, and I can pay poor, pitiful me. Right? I mean, I'm going to call it like it is. That's just how I am.
It's easy
I'm very
to be a
outspoken.
victim. Right.
It's very, when you think about it,
Mhm.
it's very easy to be a victim. And that's because many of us have never become a survivor. I don't refer to myself now sitting here before you. I don't look at myself as a victim nor a survivor. And here's why. To become a survivor, you have to admit that you were the abuser. It's very difficult. It's journaling. It's letter writing. It's releasing something that is sexually suppressed that you are ashamed of. Part of being a survivor is saying, yeah, you know, that one person hurt me, but I got to tell you, when I was sexually abused at 9 years old, in a survivor frame of mind, to really get honest and dig deep in my soul and bring out me, who I am.
Okay.
I had to forgive because I went on to play games. I was sexually active with probably every little boy within a 30-mile radius of my neighborhood where I could get on my bike. And while I say that in humor, it was real and true. And it was easier for me to say, no, I can blame this. I can be 9 years old and blame this 17-year-old and be a victim than it is be a survivor and say to you, I have become the abuser.
Right.
That's powerful.
Very powerful.
And part of being a survivor is talking about your future. When you spend so much time talking about your past, you really don't know what you want to do or where you want to be, or
You can't move on.
you
Right.
can't move on. It's a self-forgiveness. When you're making a movement or you're out in society, I'm blessed. I'm comfortable in who I am and the way that I look. But man, many people, they judge you. They think you're perfect. They think, oh, they don't know I weigh 300 pounds. They don't know that I have to watch what I eat. They don't know that I've been the abuser, not only to other people, but that because of my eating disorder, I was abusing myself.
Sure.
It cycles in ourselves.
I was just thinking, who are you abusing? But you abuse yourself because you've never forgiven.
That's right. You've never forgiven. And so where In the victim state of mind, you've got that other party that you can blame. In a survivor state of mind, you've really got to sit down and say, I'm the one doing this to myself. I wake up every morning, I hate myself. Every morning, I won't even look in a mirror. Every morning, I'm like just disgusted with the day.
Wow. Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Well, you know, there's something you do with a mirror that I want you to tell the audience, my friends out there.
Yeah, I believe in a magic mirror. Of course, I've worked in front of one for 22 years and it was not magic to me by any means. But I believe a mirror is a reflection of what we see. You can wake up every morning and brush your teeth and dread the day, or you can wake up every morning and look in that mirror and be beautiful being you. And so, you know, every mirror in my home has different things written upon it.
I've seen it. I've seen it on your website. It's amazing. You know, you've got that mirror going and everything on it. Before, we'll come back and talk more about the mirror, but I do want everyone to know that we all need to be helping, whether you've been abused or not, you have a friend, a mother, a family member, or children. I mean, you just want to know and be a part of this movement with StacyK. The way to be involved is her website is www.justicelove.org, and that is spelled JUSTUSLOVE.org. And also, you need to be on her Facebook, StacyK. So we'll be back shortly, and I will learn more, and we all will learn more about StacyK and her venture with her journey in life.
Okay, we're on pause. Sounds good. A little long, but I didn't want to interrupt her story, so I just
Oh,
want to
okay.
spill it over.
Okay.
So she was on a roll. Got to get that message
She's
out.
always on a roll. She's good. Yeah, she's
So,
good.
all right.
So when we come back, I'm going to go over a lot of the 10 questions because we've just done 15 minutes. Can you believe that? So we've got half
Justice
left.
Love, that's a powerful story in itself.
Okay, let's talk about Justice Love.
That was found.
Yeah, and I also want to bring in somehow
How's it
what
going?
happened last night.
Yes,
Somehow
We're
make
on
it
our
real.
taping.
What?
Are you
I'm
listening?
I'm old school. It's filming, and then I said, "How's the tape?" I should have said, "How's the taping?"
I know.
Right, you hear the whir, the tape heads going.
All right, ready set for part 2?
Mhm. Welcome everyone back to Charity Begins at Home with StacyK. We are so excited that you're here with us, Stacy, and we are talking about your journey and your movement, which is about sexual suppression.
Yes.
And we want to talk a whole lot. We were just talking about how you utilize a mirror. And is there anything else you want to say about that? And
I think it's powerful when you have been a victim and you talk about the past, when you really consciously, it's a conscious choice to make the decision, I'm gonna be a survivor. And lots of people do not know, but you know, when I chose that day to become a survivor, I spent roughly 9 years of my life and I never talked about my past. Now the reason I didn't talk about my past is because I'm a firm believer you don't want the past to define you. So when I made the transition, the conscious decision, and I chose to become a survivor, I did nothing but self-inject with self-help. I mean, as cliche as it sounds, I watched every episode of Oprah. Back then, Dr. Phil and the Get Real Challenge, he had just hit
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey show. He didn't even
Yes.
have his own show.
No, we didn't.
Marianne Williams, who's a strong inspiration in my life. Lord, I've got every CD, meditation
yeah.
CD. I had to reprogram and take the pessimistic, negative mental state of my mind and basically get rid of it. And I needed to reprogram. And so I found it best for me to write up on the mirror really who I wanted to be. It was almost like if I can see it, I can believe
Right,
it.
and you're looking at yourself while you're doing this.
Yeah.
That's what I find so inspiring. You know, you're looking at yourself and you're beginning to, because what you were saying is people, they don't want to look in the mirror. They don't want to see themselves. And they've abused themselves so much with weight and alcohol and drugs that who wants to look in the mirror?
That's right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, they're still in. Here's the thing. Everybody says, how do we break the cycle? Going back to that question, you can only break the cycle in yourself. And if you can break the cycle in yourself, then all you can help is raise the next generation to be different, and they will face no cycle. I mean, you know, Isabel, there is something the Book of Life teaches us, and it talks about the iniquity of the father, the sin of the father, and it's just that transforms through generation and generation and generation. And I myself am a survivor of 7 years generation. My son and daughter are the first in my family to have never been sexually abused. I'm more proud of that than anything in the world.
Yay! Oh, isn't that incredible?
That's powerful for
Powerful.
me. If I do nothing more in this life after this interview, then I have given great purpose in my own family.
But you have so much more to do.
Yes, I do.
All right, I have another question here.
Okay.
I have plenty. Your website, Justice Love.
Mhm.
Tell me the story behind that.
I begin to pray. I pray before I make a decision. And now I'm not a like bow your head, close your eyes kind of girl. I could be driving in the car, turn off the radio, and just, dear Lord, here I am. Man, I need a name for this corporation. You know, I'm a hairdresser. I've been self-employed all but 2 years of my life. I mean, I come from a long line of successful entrepreneurs. And I didn't. Self-employed.
Isn't your
Hey, my-
father running for mayor?
Well, he hadn't announced that
Oh,
yet.
well, we can strike that.
But yes, he is supposed to. And so I had to really learn what is a S corporation or a C corporation or an LLC. I didn't have a clue. I mean, I have watched tutorials and read books from the library. I felt like I've been back in college for really the past 6 months of my life.
I see serious movement. I mean, because you wouldn't be doing all that if you weren't serious about what you want to do in the future,
Yeah,
helping people. Now, you've helped people for how long?
my whole life, really.
Your whole life?
My mother had me at 15. I can remember being 4 or 5 years old.
With sexual abuse? How long have you been working with people?
It's been a constant story as a hairdresser for 22 years. It's
Okay.
constantly came into my life. They may come into my life, and as I first meet them, they may trust me enough to open up and say their husband's having an affair, or they have a alcohol problem, or they have oh, you're a hairdresser, you hear it all, you know?
I'm sure.
But as they come in for their next 6-week color, or their next 6-week color, or their next, as those days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, and you spend visit after visit with them, they really begin to open up, and they'll share with you what the truth is, and it's usually a sexual
And
suppression.
then do you start working with them at that point?
Actually, if you're a client of mine, yes, it's a constant
Natural.
visit, but if you're a client of mine, I'm literally making people beautiful. I used to make them beautiful just on the outside. Now I've been given the gift to work from the inside out.
Your Facebook, I've looked at your Facebook, and you have people that are just opening up to you, and you're working with these people individually.
Yes,
Is that
and they
correct?
found me through social media. It's a powerful thing. My Facebook.
Okay, you have to tell the story about what happened last night. Stacy and the whole group of us went to dinner, and you take it from here, Stacy.
We sat at dinner. I have a videographer with me. You got to meet him last night. Will's his name. He has Dub J
Hello, Will.
Productions.
Will is here filming us right now.
Yeah, for a documentary. And of course, you were with me and another friend of ours, Anthony. And we just sit down, and like always, the video's rolling, right? The video's rolling.
And the inevitable happens.
And yeah, this waiter really just takes a minute to sit down with me. He's 41 years old. He's been in the United States for 11 years. To make a long story short, he was sexually abused, and his grandmother's way of moving him out of the situation was she literally told him, "You got to leave Mexico." And 11 years ago, speaking no English, he came to Dallas, and he's learned every ounce of English he knows working at the restaurant we were at. And for the first time in his life, he sat in a booth at that restaurant and shared with me his story of sexual abuse and realized that he was sexually suppressed.
Now you have to understand, I am a witness to this.
Yeah, it was powerful.
I
It's
saw
all on
this
camera.
with my own eyes how this young man, and what was interesting to me was after you had him talk about it and you said you realized that a lot of things that have happened in your life is because of what happened to you, because you sexually suppressed what happened to you. And when the look on his face was almost like you had lifted 20 tons of weight.
It was
off of him.
powerful, wasn't it?
Wow, it was unbelievable.
It was
unbelievable.
I remember saying to him, have you dealt with an eating disorder or a food or drug or alcohol addiction or a porn addiction? And I just kind of began to lay out the things we deal with in society that are, right now that are prominent in society. And I remember him almost sitting back in his seat and giving me this aha moment when he said, yes. And I said, you have become the abuser. It's time to let go. I want you to get up from this booth. And I want you to know that has no more power over you. Now you have power over your life.
Wow, unbelievable. All right, I had to tell everyone that. We just have a few minutes left. I do want you to go back to Justice Love, the website, www.justusLove.org.
You know where that came from? Colossians 4:11.
Oh.
Said in church after my prayer, Colossians 4:11, and Jesus, which is called Justice, who are of my circumcision, these are my fellow workers unto the kingdom of God, and comfort me. And there was born Justice Love. Justice.
And I love that,
justice.
justice. And it's just us.
Yes.
Just us. What a clever, as a publicist, that's, I get excited about those.
Words have power.
Words have power.
Yeah.
Taglines and everything like that. It fits what you're doing. Sum up, let me know, talk to me, tell me.
Right now we're
What can
in
we
a
do?
movement. Everybody wants to know what a movement is. A movement is an idea each day. It's kind of like Couch to 5K. Each day we take a step forward. There's no movement back. It's just a step forward. If you feel led to share your story, please go to www.justicelove.org. You can share your story with me. We'll edit it, send it back to you. No name, everything's cleared from it. And we will use your story to help another. Right now we just want to bring value.
Are you looking for sponsors too, to help you with this move?
That would be great. That'd be a great thing, yes.
Yeah, we need some sponsors out there because you're going to be on Oprah one day.
Yes.
I know it. You're going
Ellen.
to be all over. Ellen.
Oprah, I'd go
Well,
anywhere.
Anywhere. Well,
I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
we're going to help you get there for sure.